Welcome students, welcome to the second part of my video, United Nations Political Science Standard 9th. As we have seen, after the two world wars, after the First World War, the League of Nations was established, but League of Nations was not able to avoid the Second World War. After the Second World War, we could find that United Nations was born, and we could see that this United Nations tried to bring in peace in the world. That was the first priority. They targeted to establish friendly relation among the nations, to enhance international security by solving disputes, and to safeguard human rights and freedom. Along with this, United Nations also aims in enhancing economic cooperation at the international level, and all the member countries, it is their duty to respect diplomatic privileges of sovereign nation and not to attack other countries and abide international laws and treaties. We could also see that United Nations has several organs, and each organs have their own functions. The organs are as follows: General Assembly, Security Council, Economic and Social Council, Secretariat, and International Court. And the sixth one is Trusteeship Council. And my dear students, I have explained General Assembly and its function, Security Council and its function. I have also explained Secretariat and what is the work of the Secretariat, who heads the Secretariat. I said the person who is in charge of the Secretariat is also mentioned. We have also seen the effort taken by the chief of the Secretariat to call out international conferences of global problems like climate change, human rights, disarmament, to organize meeting of General Assembly and Security Council, and to comply or to compile informations and to supply information to the mass media. Now, my dear students, we will see the sixth organ, that is Trusteeship Council. As we all know, after the Second World War, there was underdeveloped countries which were placed under the responsibility of the developed nation. The latter were supposed to help them to bring about development of the trust or the territories once they have attained independence from their colonies, to establish democracy. We could see the work of the Trusteeship Council is over. There are no trust territories left because almost all the countries now have got independence. None of the countries are under the colonies, or they are colonies, all are free, they have their own government. And the work of the Trusteeship Council came to an end on 1st November 1994. Now, we will see what is the Millennium Development Goals. United Nations members come together they came together in 2000 and they decided upon the development goals for the new millennium. Some of the important goals are as follows: to remove poverty and hunger, to make facilities of primary education available, to bring about women's empowerment, reduce infant mortality rate, to take special care of health of pregnant women, to fight disease like AIDS, malaria, etc., to protect environment and to increase cooperation between developed and developing countries. United Nations and preservation of peace. The objective of United Nations is to settle international conflict peacefully. United Nations Charter lays down the ways and means to employ and to achieve this goal. It includes appointing an intermediary acceptable to the nations involved in conflict, use of legal procedure, appoint an arbiter to solve the dispute, and if needed, to take resources to military means and to ensure the conflict will not occur again. Here I would like to say one thing. When two countries enter into a conflict, we find United Nations as a mediator. They are here to solve the issue. And if any of the one country who does not obey the United Nations, they may take a stern measure against that country by bringing in military action against them. In modern times, human security has been threatened by terrorism, racism, and religious conflict. As a result, the function of securing peace of United Nations has acquired a lot of importance. United Nations makes effort to ensure that violence does not erupt in strife-torn areas. Normalcy is restored as soon as possible. For example, starting a school, creating awareness among the people about human rights, make social, economic, political facilities available, conduct elections. United Peacekeeping Force, my dear students, let me tell you, United Nations does not have their own military, but they, in the time of crisis or at the time of crisis, they take the help of the member nations. And that group of military is known as the Peacekeeping Force. And the peacekeeping activity of United Nations involves creating appropriate circumstances favorable for bringing about permanent peace in the strife-torn areas. The peacekeeping force helps the areas to progress towards peace. In conflict-ridden areas, security is provided. At the same time, it helps in extended for establishing peace. United Nations takes up peacekeeping as one of the tasks for safeguarding, fostering peace in the world. Following things are the other actions the United Nations may take supplementary to peacekeeping activities: prevention of conflict and mediation, actually establish peace, implement the measures of protecting peace, peace building. United Nations and India. Yes, my dear students, whenever I speak about United Nations and in India, India has participated in different conferences which were held before the establishment of United Nations. India participated in bringing issues like decolonization, disarmament, racial segregation on the United Nations platform. India has played a major role in the discussion about the problems of developed and developing countries. India has always sent her troops to participate in United Nations peacekeeping force. Not just that, India has sent all women peacekeeping force as well. Thank you, my dear students. Thank you for your patient hearing. And I wish you all the best for your exam. Students, kindly note, if you like it, please like the video. Not only like the videos, but also subscribe it and also share it with others. मेरे प्रिय विद्यार्थियों, मैं शुक्रिया अदा करता हूँ आपको। आप हमेशा मुझसे बोलते हो कि हिंदी में बोलो। मैंने हिंदी में बोलने का प्रयास किया और मेरे आपसे अनुरोध है कि आप इस वीडियो को लाइक करें और ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा इस वीडियो को लोगों के तरफ शेयर करें और उन लोगों को दे जिन्हें बहुत ज़रूरत हो और दूसरे के साथ भी शेयर करें। शुक्रिया मेरे प्रिय विद्यार्थियों।